Do you have a shady garden and struggle to find the right plants? This is a common challenge faced by many garden enthusiasts. But fear not, because today we're going to delve into the wonderful world of shade-loving plants, a perfect solution for your shady garden. In every garden there are those spots under trees or beside buildings where the sun seems shy to shine. These areas might seem problematic, but they are actually opportunities to grow a special group of plants that thrive in the shadows. Yes, we're talking about shade plants. Now you might be thinking, what's so special about shade plants? Well, these plants are not your average Joe. They are adapted to low light conditions, which means they can flourish where others can't. They've evolved to absorb and use light more efficiently, so they don't just survive in the shade, they thrive. But that's not all. Shade plants have another amazing quality. They lose less water through their leaves because they're not under the constant heat of the sun. This means they're less likely to wilt in hot weather and require less watering. Talk about a win-win. The key to success in any garden, especially a shady one, is good plant selection. This involves choosing plants that not only suit your aesthetic tastes, but are also well-suited to the conditions in your garden. The right plants can transform your shady spots into a lush green oasis that's full of life. And here's the good news. There are many easy-to-grow shade plants available. From the lush foliage of hostas to the diverse forms of ferns, the Hardy Heuchera, the Tropical Caladium, the decorative bleeding heart, the colorful hellebores, the Bright Impatiens, the delicate lily of the valley, and the attractive Japanese forest grass. There's a shade plant for every garden. So, are you ready to turn your shady garden into a verdant paradise? Let's explore some of the best shade-loving plants for your garden. Ever thought about adding a touch of lush greenery to your shady garden? Enter hostas, the rock stars of the shade garden. Known for their dense, decorative leaves, they can turn any dim corner into a vibrant haven of life. Hostas are a diverse group of plants, coming in an array of colors and beautiful variegations. From deep, rich greens to pale, icy blues, they offer a color palette that can complement any garden design. But it's not just about the leaves. Hostas also produce delicate purple flowers that add an extra layer of charm to their already stunning display. One of the reasons they're so popular is their adaptability. Hostas are incredibly hardy, able to thrive in a range of soil conditions, and while they certainly love a shady spot, they're also quite happy in partially sunny locations. When it comes to care, hostas are relatively low maintenance, making them a perfect choice for both novice and experienced gardeners. They prefer moist, rich soils, and appreciate a good layer of mulch each year to help retain moisture and suppress weeds. Propagating these beauties is a breeze too. You can grow them from seed, bulbs, or by simply dividing mature plants. This means you can easily multiply your hostas and spread their lush beauty throughout your garden. In short, with their lush foliage, easy care, and adaptability, hostas are a fantastic addition to any shady garden. Do you want to add a jungle feel to your garden? That's where ferns come in. These shade-loving plants are a diverse group, known for their attractive foliage which comes in an array of forms. Some ferns flaunt thick, robust leaves while others showcase delicate, intricate fronds. Ferns are exceptionally adaptable. They predominantly thrive in damp, shady spots, making them an excellent choice for those tricky areas in your garden that don't see much sunlight. But what's even more fascinating is that some ferns can even adapt to dry shade, demonstrating their remarkable resilience and versatility. Growing ferns might seem daunting at first, but don't fret. It's a lot simpler than you might think. You can grow these green beauties from spores, a method that may require a bit of patience, but is ultimately rewarding. Alternatively, you can propagate them by dividing mature plants, a quicker and more straightforward method. Either way, with a bit of care and attention, you'll soon have a thriving collection of ferns bringing life to the shadier parts of your garden. The diversity of ferns is truly remarkable, with numerous species available, each with their own unique charm. From the delicate maidenhair fern to the robust Boston fern, there's a fern to fit every type of shady garden, so why not give it a try? Ferns are a versatile choice for any shady garden. Looking for a hardy perennial that can withstand the shade? Meet the Heuchera, a resilient native to North America. This plant forms clumps of dense leaves that come in a mesmerizing range of colors from deep burgundy to frosted silver, adding a splash of hue even to the darkest corners of your garden. What's more, Heucheras are not fussy about their living conditions. They prefer partial shade, but can also tolerate full shade and even a bit of sun. The key is to provide them with moist, well-drained soil. This keeps their roots happy and their foliage vibrant. Heucheras also grow well in containers, making them a versatile choice for any garden. Some varieties even have a trailing habit, which can add an unexpected element to your garden design. Growing Heucheras is straightforward. You can start with nursery plants or divide mature plants to spread their beauty throughout your garden. So, if you're seeking a robust, shade-loving plant, Heuchera is a resilient choice for a shady garden. How about bringing a tropical vibe to your shady garden? You can achieve this with the vibrant Caladium, also known as elephant ears. These plants are celebrated for their large, colorful leaves, which bear a striking resemblance to an elephant's ears. The broad spectrum of hues they offer, from pinks and greens to whites and reds, can turn any garden into a tropical paradise. Caladiums thrive in warm, humid conditions, making them a perfect fit for those shaded corners that get a lot of moisture. They do prefer rich, moist soil, so make sure you're providing them with the nutrients they need to flourish. One of the key care instructions for caladiums is regular watering. They love to have their soil consistently moist. This doesn't mean waterlogged or soggy, but simply well hydrated. Growing caladiums, either in containers, indoors or outdoors, can add a unique tropical touch to your garden. So why not give them a try? Caladiums can bring a tropical touch to your shady garden. Do you want to add a touch of beauty to your shady garden? Let's talk about the bleeding heart, a plant that's as enchanting as its name. Native to the forests of Eastern Asia, this decorative plant thrives in shady positions. It's a real showstopper, with heart-shaped flowers that hang delicately from arching stems. The flowers are typically pink or white, but varieties with red, yellow, or purple blooms are also available. Growing bleeding heart isn't too complicated either. You can start them from seeds, but it's easier to grow them from a nursery seedling. Plant them in a spot with dappled sunlight in rich, well-drained soil. Keep the soil moist, but not waterlogged. And here's a bonus. These plants are great pollinators. They attract bees, helping to keep your garden buzzing with life. So, if you're looking to add a touch of elegance and a splash of color to your shady garden, consider the bleeding heart. It's a plant that truly lives up to its beautiful name. Bleeding hearts can add a splash of color to your shady garden. How about adding some winter blooms to your shady garden? Now let's talk about hellebores, also known as winter roses. These beauties are a fantastic way to add a splash of color to your garden during those chilly winter months. Hellebores offer a wide range of colors, from pure white to the darkest red and every shade in between. It's like having a rainbow at your fingertips, but for your garden. Now, isn't that a delightful thought? And the best part? These plants love the shade. They prefer full or partial shade, making them an excellent choice for those darker corners of your garden. Now, let's talk about propagation. Hellebores are typically propagated through division. This means you can take a mature plant, divide it, and voila! You have more plants ready to adorn your garden. Hellebores can add a burst of winter color to your shady garden. So, why not consider adding these vibrant shade lovers to your garden palette? How about adding some vibrant colors to your shady garden? Let's talk about impatiens, or as they're more affectionately known, busy lizzies. These bright bedding plants are a garden enthusiast's delight. Available in a spectrum of colors, they bring a vivid touch to those darker corners of your garden. Impatiens have a special ability to tolerate full shade. This means they're perfect for those areas of your garden where sunlight is a rare visitor. But don't let the shade fool you. These plants are far from dull. Their vibrant colors can light up even the darkest corners. Growing impatiens is a rewarding experience. You can propagate these plants by sowing seeds in early spring. As the season progresses, you'll be treated to a dazzling display of color. Whether you choose to grow them as annuals or perennials, they're sure to bring joy to your garden year after year. Impatiens can add a pop of color to your shady garden. Ever thought about adding a touch of elegance to your shady garden? Let's talk about the lily of the valley. This delicate and beautiful shade plant is a real charmer. Its tiny bell-shaped flowers hang like an elegant chandelier from slender arching stems. The glossy green leaves provide a lovely contrast, making this plant a visual treat. But the lily of the valley doesn't just score on looks. It's a hardy plant that thrives in the shade, making it a perfect addition to those parts of your garden that don't get much sunlight. Now, how do we grow this beauty, you ask? Well, it can be grown from plants, bulbs, or by division. When dividing, simply lift and tease the bulbs apart. One word of caution though, the lily of the valley is a poisonous plant, so you might want to be careful if you have little ones romping around. Lily of the valley can add a touch of elegance to your shady garden. How about adding some attractive mounds to your shady garden? Yes, you heard it right. We're talking about the Japanese forest grass, also known as Hakanekloa. This shade-loving plant is popular for its ability to form attractive mounds of cascading bright green leaves. It's an absolute delight to the eyes and a fantastic choice for your garden. The Japanese forest grass is a full shade enthusiast. It thrives in those cool, shady corners of your garden where most other plants hesitate to grow. With its preference for moist, well-drained soil, it's a plant that loves a little pampering. Now you might be wondering, how do you propagate this spectacular plant? Well, it's quite simple. The Japanese forest grass can be grown from a nursery plant or by dividing an already mature plant. This makes it a great choice for both seasoned gardeners and novices alike. Japanese forest grass can add a unique texture to your shady garden. So why not give it a try? So, have we solved your shady garden dilemma? Let's take a quick stroll back through our garden of shade-loving plants. First we met the hostas, those lush, dense foliage plants with large decorative leaves. They come in various colors, providing a beautiful understory to your garden. Remember, they love moist, rich soils, and a bit of annual mulching. Then we ventured into the world of ferns, diverse and adaptable. They bring a jungle-like feel to your garden. They thrive in damp, shady spots and are available in a variety of forms. Next, we discovered the Heuchera hardy perennials native to North America. Their dense clumps of leaves come in a range of colors, and they grow well in containers, preferring partial shade and well-drained soil. We then uncovered the tropical beauty of the caladium, known for their large, colorful leaves resembling elephant ears. They thrive in warm, humid conditions and require regular watering to maintain their vibrant display. Our journey continued with the delicate bleeding heart, a beautiful and decorative plant that attracts bees and brings an eclectic touch to your garden. We also admired the hellebores or winter roses, which add color to those shady spots during the winter months. We didn't miss the impatiens, bright bedding plants available in various colors which can tolerate full shade and provide a radiant display. We also admired the lily of the valley, a delicate and beautiful shade plant. However, remember that they are poisonous and need to be planted with caution, especially if children are around. Finally, we encountered the Japanese forest grass, which forms attractive mounds and prefers full shade. This plant thrives in moist, well-drained soil and can easily be grown from a nursery plant or by dividing. In conclusion, each of these shade-loving plants has its unique charm and benefits, and they can all thrive in your shady garden. They prove that even with less sunlight, your garden can still be a vibrant, lush oasis, full of life and color. Remember, your shady garden can be just as vibrant as any sunny plot. Like this video, subscribe for more gardening tips, and share your favorite shade-loving plants in the comments below.